Welcome to Red Bandy Outdoors. I'm Scott, fish biologist turned YouTuber, living the dream, being the star of my own fishing show on TV. Well, today we're out here in western Montana. It's our second day. Did kind of a test float yesterday, a long float. Test the conditions, test the river. We caught some fish, worked hard for them, lost some jigs. Today I'm doing a solo mission. Little canyon water, getting ready to put on here. You see the boat all loaded up there, everything's ready to go. I got a fish finder jig rigged up, and then the crossover with a little fur and a little soft plastic to toss against the banks. I'm going to be using my boat with these fins today to help me control the boat so I don't have to use the oars. And we're going to mosey down this canyon and toss into the banks, have a good time, and be looking for a nice fat rainbow. So come along. The battery supply is about half today, so we're going to be doing a vlog style video. Show you guys how I do it. We'll put you on the chesty and take you for a float down the river. Thanks for watching. That's where I'm staying this week, right there at that house. Yeah, I wish. All right, it's fast fishing today, folks. These big, river's high, snowmelt. Just gonna soak these eddies. Sometimes you can get into these eddies and ride them back up. So basically we're fishing the bank and some of the canyon water. There's some good stuff down towards the end when we go back under the highway. So we'll just kind of save our energy for that. Some good seams and eddies down there. But we'll just work this stuff here. All I'm doing is letting that fish finder kind of hit the bank, keeping it off the willows so I don't snag, come off the willows a couple feet, and just letting it soak. Using the fins to kind of control the boat and keep me in the slower current. And then once I do that, I'm just looking for those little seams, those little deflection eddies off the bank where a fish might kind of find a home. Food's funneled to them. There's a little cover. Just let the fish finder sink. It's deep enough in this canyon water to where it can sink. This is the 1/16 ball head jig on the Northland tackle. I was kind of using some of my older ones yesterday because I was finding the bottom a little bit faster than I would have liked. So spots like this where there's a little current, you know, to kind of let that fish just kind of work in there and feed, a little cover. See if there's one down in there. The line's fishing real loose. All right, so we got another good spot right there off that rock we don't want to miss. So we can drop it in there. You know, just fish just lurking on that wall. Just lurking on that wall. Let that sink. Nice little seam right there. Didn't really hit it well, but a little too far away from some of them. Most of the boats are putting in on the float that we did yesterday, which is a lot more willow bank lines. We found fish in there, a lot of seams, but we were definitely snagging up. Didn't find any of the real big 18 to 19 inchers that I was looking for. I'll show you a couple pictures of what we got while I'm fishing this video. This is what I'll be doing. Try to get one on video for you guys. Just letting that fish finder just kind of marinate in those seams. It's real swimmy in there. You know, find something to climb on it. No idea what this is, but it is big. It is big. It's a big pike. It's a big pike. Oh! Lost the big pike. Crazy. No wonder there was no trout in that spot. There was a huge pike there. That was like a 24-inch pike. Or bigger. Whew. Hopefully we got some of that on video. Oh, I just cast up in there as I was going out. What is this? Huge squaw-daddy? Smallmouth? Walleye? A rainbow. Nice rainbow. Hopefully that pike doesn't come up and eat it. Holy moly. I don't want you in the willows, bud. That's why I'm out here. This is a nice rainbow. This is a nice cutthroat. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Come on. This is what we came for. There it is, folks. 20-inch cutty fish finder jig right there in its mouth. Oh, there he goes. Ooh. All right, let's relive that. The old school fish finder jig is getting torn apart here today. Being snagged yesterday quite a few times. I just caught a pike on it that bent the hook a little bit. And then a 20-inch cutthroat right here in that hole. The pike was tight to the willows and the cutty was sitting out there in the fast water. So I'd say that's a pretty good day right there, and we're probably only halfway through, not even. But the water's high, and so the river is still coming down from its kind of floodplain, and it sits in these willows for a while, and so by the end of the summer it'll be out here. But some of the best fishing of the season is when it's packed right along this willow line. Just gives a lot of awesome foraging habitat for all kinds of fish, and that's where you saw a 25 to 30-inch pike and then a 20-inch cutthroat right there. Right on. Thanks for watching. Oh God, right there. Missed another nice one out there. Two right here I've missed. Two! Bomber. Do something a little different real quick. See if we can hook up on something with a little bit different. There's one right there. Okay, there we go. Looks like we got something, folks. I don't know what it is, but we got it on the soft plastic. Oh, lost him. Gosh, that's 3 in here. All right, let's close this one out today. The wind kicked up pretty good there right after those last few fish. I hooked 5 in this one riffle and couldn't land any of them. 3 of them seemed to be pretty good chunky ones. So I'm gonna get into what I was using in here in a second. But since I'm on the road trip, I figured I'd give you guys a little quick walkthrough of my van. You know, you've seen it from the outside. It's the it's the Mercedes Sprinter, the 144-inch wheelbase. So when you get to the, you know, the wheelbase, those are how they differentiate the Sprinters. Basically, there's 144 and a 177, I believe. This is the 144. It's around the same size as like a long bed pickup, Super Duty type of thing. Just show you the back, what people call the garage here real quick, show you how I got it, then we'll go inside, see how I live in style. It's a bit messy. It's been 2 days of fishing, kind of just getting warmed up for the road trip and all the good stuff ahead. So here in the back, see if I can see what's going on. There we go. GoPro's always fun with you. I got my rods. You know, you guys have heard all about my rods, the Bass Pro. Here's 4 of them right here. I got room for more. I got my bike, of course, a vacuum cleaner, all kinds of other junk. The pump. Maybe you didn't see that, so let's go over the rods. The bike. Here's the wheel for the bike. Kind of have it in there so it's not banging up against my power system and charger. My waders if I need them, the pump, life jackets, my showers down here underneath this bag shower. Keep that in this tub so I can do 2 things. One, I can keep my bag shower from leaking in there, and then when I need to clean my wader boots off, I can do that in here, disinfect them. You can see my 2 boats here. You can see my fridge right there, but we'll get to that. This is the back. Up here's the bed. Let's get out of the sun. Just took a kind of a swim in the river over there at the boat ramp, so I'm going to be hanging out in the shade finishing this video somewhere in here. So this is the inside. You know, my chair's right there. It's where I kind of hang out. Right next to that, we've mounted a Husky toolbox. That's where all your pots and pans and miscellaneous items would go, depending on what you want to carry in the van. You know, we've got knives, scissors, patch kits, screwdrivers, all kinds of stuff in here. Then you start getting into the plates, the pots and pans and stuff. That's where I keep my stove. It's all out there at the picnic table. You know, there's the captain's helm. Got the cabinets, food, clothing. This is where I sleep. Pretty sizable bed. Just push a lot of junk, a lot of rods up on the side. Fly rods are over here. So that's it. Let's get into what I was using today on the river. This is real important, okay? Let's go over this real quick. All right, so on the river, the big pike I had on, all the fish basically I had on and landed were on this. This is basically the fish finder jig tied on Northland Tackles gumball head. This is a 1/16. The pike and the other fish, they ripped off all the marabou. The tail was coming off after yesterday, you know, the snagging on all the willows you see me casting into. So I fished this thing for 2 days and kept it on this morning because I have been losing a few. So I felt like, okay, let's just lose this one here before we tie in another one. And so yeah, the stuff was coming off on the back, so I just kept fishing it and fishing it. Caught basically a 19 to 20 inch cutthroat and a 25 to 30 inch pike that popped off at the boat. And then I've hooked a bunch of other fish with this thing over 2 days. I'll show some pictures of those. And then the other stuff I've been using is the is the Euro Tackles products. This is the B-Vibe. I've also been using the Helgramite. I put that on my jig head that I make, and I wrap that with a little fur and a little flash. I don't know if you guys can see that on there. I'll turn that one around, but you can see, yeah, the flash on there and the feather on there. That's kind of a fish finder jigs crossover jig. I'm wondering how I'm going to offer these on the store. So there's several rubber plastics you can put on there. And so that was what I was using through most of the video. I want you guys to remember, yeah, I was using the Deep V product or the Northland Tackle product. You know, I have a lot of those tied up from the early days. And there's, you know, 3 jig heads that if you want to tie your own jigs, I've showed you how to tie the fish finder jig on all 3 of these jig heads right here. I also did some tying on this jig head here, the gumball. So VMC has the Sleek and the 1/8 and the Neon Moon Eye and the 1/16, and then Northland Tackle and the Deep V has both the 1/16 and the 1/8. These are the best jig heads on the market to be tying the jigs I fish on there, the hair jigs. And I showed you how to do that on my channel. You can go back and look that up. I'm not going to show that a lot. You know, and if you don't want to tie them, obviously you can purchase them from me. I'm here in the van working hard this week to get some videos, but I brought all my inventory, so it'd be pretty cool if someone placed an order. I can plug it into my electronics, print out the label, and drop it off at a local post office. I'm traveling around catching trout, making videos for you guys. So I want to tell you thanks for watching. Be some cool videos coming out this week. I'm headed to do one of my better ones that I have on the list that I'm super excited to do. I couldn't do it here in the March because the river was high. And so now I'm back. We're gonna get out there and do that video. I know you're gonna like it, so tune in, subscribe, like, comment, tell me what you think. I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.